Okay, I think I am live. Hey guys. Just making sure it's all working and that you can see me. Today was kind of a last minute decision to go live. So here we are. But I'm just hoping that you guys are here. So I'm just gonna wait a couple minutes for people to come on and just say hello. There's my husband. He's always checking. Thank you, darling. But yeah, so today we're just gonna kind of hang out and paint. Feel free to hop in the chat and say hello. And we'll get started in a couple minutes. So I was thinking today we can just paint some really simple, small, delicate flowers just to kind of relax us today. Just no pressure, something simple and fun. Love you too, darling. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. I think I might just get started. So let me just pop over to my painting setup here. Hi guys. This way you can see me and you can also see my painting. My due date is mid-April, but I'm hoping to go sooner because I am done. I am done with this pregnancy. So we'll see. Hi guys. I'm so glad you guys are loving the brushes. Awesome. Oh. Okay, so today I am painting in my Etcher Lab Cold Press Watercolor sketchbook. You can use whatever paper you have. I have my Winsor Newton Professional Watercolors in my palette. I have a couple new colors that I'll show you too. Not necessary to get, but I got them because I have an addiction to watercolor. And if I take a lot of sips of my water that's because I have a bit of a cough and I just try to control it. So this should be fun. Is Noah in daycare? He sure is. Thank goodness. He's been home for the past 2 weeks. Will there be more brushes for sale? We are planning on doing another run of them. Yes, I'm not sure exactly when, but hopefully in a couple months we will do that. And then if you haven't gotten them, you can get them. Okay, so I have my Winsor Newton Professional Watercolors, my Etcher Lab sketchbook, and we're going to be using smaller brushes today. We're going to be using a size 2 and a size 6. And I'm going to try and zoom you guys in so you can see a bit better because we're just doing some small, delicate flowers today. I was playing around the other day and they were fun to do, so I thought that's what we'll do today. And they don't have to be real flowers. So I'm not going to know the names of them. I love how people are like, you need to learn the names of flowers. And I'm like, I know them, a lot of them, but no, I'm not a florist. I am a painter and I will paint as I please. So no pressure to know any types of flowers. And you can just kind of make them up as you go along as well. Okay. So I'm going to start off with, I'm going to make sure you guys are zoomed in so you can see. And if you can't see or hear, just let me know. Okay, so I'm going to grab some pink, and you guys can switch up the colors, do whatever you like. You do not have to follow exactly. I'm going to get some pink in here. I'm going to get some yellow. I should actually probably get my colors situated and activated. My paints are all dry, so I'm just going to take my spray bottle and spray them, and don't feel like you have to have the same colors or anything. Look, I redid my yellow, so it's not contaminated anymore. I figured I might as well try. All right, so I'm just going to take some pink or some peachish color, and we're going to do just some tiny little flowers. Just some petals like this. Make them even lighter. We're just relaxing today and just painting together and having fun. If you guys have questions, please feel free to ask. I will try and watch the chat as well. I'm just going to try and take some of that pigment off so I can get them a little lighter. Grab a little bit of yellow. Tap it in there. Why not? And get a little bit more pink. Tap it in the center. Let's do another one. I'm going to do one over here. Nice light wash. I'm just using my size 6 brush for this. Kind of doing these rounded petal shapes. And then grabbing some darker pigment, putting it in the center, like that, for it to bleed, and a little bit of yellow on the outside. Now if it just sits there like that, like this dot is doing, might mean that it's starting to dry, so you can just kind of move it around. I'm due April 14th, but I feel like I might go sooner. Who knows? Who knows? These babies are unpredictable. But I'm super pregnant and uncomfortable. If you've seen any of my Instagram stories, you know all I do is complain lately. I feel bad, but I'm like, just so miserable. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I am not happy. I am so uncomfortable. Everything is hard to do at this point. And I'm just want this kid out of me. So hopefully sooner than later. And safely. And quickly. A little bit of yellow. Like so. Just making them nice and small. Like that. And then I'm going to grab some green. What kind of green should I use? I just have like this turquoisey kind of green here. So like a little bit of phthalo turquoise, and I think it's what's it called? Oxide of chromium. It's a new green that I got, but you can use whatever green you have. We're just going to do some stems like that. Let it bleed a little if you'd like. You don't have to. You may be feeling done with this pregnancy, but you're absolutely glowing. Thank you. I do. Well, I put makeup on for the first time in like a week. I've been feeling so gross and just like, lately. I'm just, oh, my poor husband is just dealing with the wrath of an uncomfortable pregnant lady. I feel so bad for him. He's such a good sport though. So, and he's super helpful. I'm having a boy. Another boy mom over here. This is our last too. No more kids after this, so officially a boy mom, which is funny because I grew up with just my mom and I lived in like a girl house. So the whole boy mom thing is pretty new to me. We're just doing some little leaves here. They don't have to be accurate to whatever flower you're doing. I love when people comment and they're just like, that's not what the leaves of those kind of flowers look like. I don't care, to be honest. Do whatever makes you happy. Okay? The green is oxide of chromium. It's just a new green that I got, but you can use sap green, whatever you like. And then we'll go back in a bit in a minute with some darker color. I'm just going to let it dry a bit. Like that. Let's do a different flower now. I'm going to grab this color called Perline Maroon. It's pretty. I got it recently. You don't need this color. If you wanted to make this color, you could just mix red and purple. If you like to make it. And we're just going to do some petal shapes like this. Try and make them lighter. So you can go back in with some darker color after Just really like no fuss kind of shapes. Do one this way, petal that way, petal that way, maybe a little petal in the middle. Grab a little bit more of your color, just put it towards the base, let it bleed a little, like that. Let's do a bit more. You gotta love people. I'm not complaining about the blessing of having a baby. I'm complaining about the discomfort that I'm feeling, which I think I'm allowed to complain about. I'm just telling you that I'm having a difficult time. Not that I'm having a baby. I'm very grateful that I'm having a baby, and I'm super excited. I want to meet him already. I want to get him out so I can meet him. But just because, you know, I'm struggling doesn't, like, I people can say whatever they, well, it's fine. I'm done. I'm not in the mood. I'll be honest. Don't mess with a pregnant lady right now. Because I will just fire back at this point. Okay, so there's those little buds. And I'm going to use some olive green. I just got this color in my palette as well, which I love, which you could also make with sap green and burnt umber. And the reason why I got these colors that I can easily mix, that I have been mixing for years, is because, you know what, I've gotten a little lazy. And I kind of just want to go to the color that I want without having to mix it sometimes. If you are a beginner, that's not necessarily something I recommend you doing, because I think it's really great for you to learn how to mix colors and get those colors with a limited palette. But I mean, also, if you want to do that too, there's no rules. Do whatever you want, right? So I'm just gonna connect these stems. Like that. And when you're doing a stem of a flower, make sure it's like coming right up the center. If it's a little off center, it will look a little interesting. Okay, it won't look as realistic. So again, I'm going to try and make it a little bit lighter. And we're just going to do some little leaves. Like that. I love this green. It's so pretty. Might do another little bud there. Did you enjoy adding the white watercolor to your March bouquet? Yeah, I did. I'm gonna do a tutorial on like using white water, not a tutorial, I mean, you just use white watercolor. There's no like special way to use it necessarily. But just like kind of like the benefits of using white watercolor, because I never really did. But it's kind of fun to use, so I might do a video on that. I'm actually going to switch to my smaller, my smaller brush. And then I'm just going to do tiny little leaves. I actually think maybe I'll just do the remainder of this with my smaller brush. Sometimes it's a lot of fun to work with smaller brushes, making them just a little bit tinier. Look how cute. You gotta love debates. Okay, it's all good. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that for a second. We'll go right back here. I'm gonna grab some yellow ochre. We're gonna do a little center on these flowers, just like, doesn't have to be anything fancy, just like little lines or something. Might even grab a little bit more pink. Maybe a little, make it a bit duller by adding a little bit of green. And just do some tiny little lines, just for fun, just to give it a bit of texture. Use your small brush. Trying to make it as light as possible. Like that. And I'm going to grab that green again, maybe a little bit darker. I'm just going to add a little bit of darkness to some of the base of these leaves. Maybe the stems too. Like that. Cute. And then, are these dry? Yeah, I'm going to add a bit more detail to those as well. So I'm just going to grab a bit more of this darker color and then do some lines like that. These flowers are great for, like, if you want to just decorate, like you could just do one on the center of a card and it would be so cute. And they're just so delicate and tiny and they look adorable. I might not be reading the comments anymore because it sounds like there's a debate going on and I don't know if my hormones can take certain debates about things. So, I'm sorry, but not on here to start any controversy, but once people start having their opinions about things, I'm just like, I'm out. I'm out. Brushes, I'm not sure when they will be out again. In a couple months, I think, because they have to remake another set. So, hopefully soon. I'm just going to add a little bit of yellow ochre to the tops of some of these. Like there's a little bit of stamens poking out. What kind of flowers are these? No idea. Doesn't really matter. But they're cute. Oh, let's do... Have you finished your watercolor book to go to the publisher yet? I have finished my manuscript, so that's the writing part, and I've done most of, if not all of the illustrations already, so they're going to edit. I have to scan all the illustrations. There's a lot to do, but I'm hoping I get it done. I don't know. I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous just because I don't know when this baby's coming, so it could be a little crazy. I'm just making like an orange color now, just like a peachish, orangish color. A little bit of pink, a little bit of yellow, and then I might grab just like a tiny bit of green just to mute it a little bit more yellow. Okay, make it a little bit rustier. Then I'm going to take a bunch of that pigment off, and I'm just going to do, I don't know, again, like do some circular parts for the inside here, and then just make it kind of like a little bowl. And I'm just using my size 2 brush to get those really tiny bits. I'll do do another one up here, maybe a smaller one. Thank you to all of you who are like backing me up in the comments right now. And for those of you who don't know what's going on, I simply said that I'm struggling with this pregnancy and I'm miserable. I'm very uncomfortable. And someone was like, you shouldn't complain. You should be grateful that you're pregnant. That's the funny thing, is no one said I wasn't grateful. I'm super excited to meet this baby. But it's been a very hard pregnancy. It's like someone struggling from one disease and saying, yeah, but look on the bright side, you don't have cancer. Other people have cancer, so you can't complain. You know what? Just because someone's going through something worse does not devalue what someone is going through. Never once did I say I was ungrateful. I'm so excited. But I am having a hard time taking care of my toddler. I'm having a hard time getting work done, and yet I'm still here painting for you guys. And I'm struggling a lot mentally with my mental health. Lately, it's hard not being able to do much. It's hard being in the winter and not being able to go for walks. There's a lot of tough things that are going on, and there's some awful things that are going on around the world that are consuming us too. That is just devastating to listen to. It's just a hard time right now, but not saying my struggle is any harder than anybody else's. Just being honest with the people who I care about, most of you at least, who are kind, that if I seem a little bit off or my quality of work doesn't seem as up to par as it usually is, that there's a reason, and that's because I'm struggling. So there, that is my 2 cents for that. So then this green that I'm using is Perline green, which is like one of my favorites. I'm gonna add some like little bits down here. Maybe this is like a rose, I don't know. Little spikies. Gonna lighten up my color a bit and just do some bigger leaves. And then we'll go back over with some darker color after. We'll do a little sprig of leaves here. Another one, why not? Just keeping it nice and small and delicate. I love this green too. If you haven't noticed, I have a lot of different greens in my palette. They're my favorite color. And so I've kind of upped my greens in my palette because they make me very happy. So I have olive green. I'll show you my greens. I have my olive green, hooker's green dark, sap green, perline green, and chromium. Wait, what was it? Oxide of chromium. Those are my current favorites. Go back in with a bit darker pigment towards the base. Some of them are already dry, some of them are still wet. That's okay. Just adding a little bit of that darkness to it. Like so. Cute. How often do you clean your palette? I don't really, unless I'm honestly, the only time I ever clean my palette, and by that I mean like I like spray it with water and then I mix it up with a brush and then I just wipe it down with a paper towel, is if I'm doing a video like on color mixing where I kind of need a clean well. That is like basically the only time I clean it. I rarely do because I reuse my colors quite often. So Yeah. Okay, so there's our first 3. Yeah. I'm gonna do some blue, like little, what are those blue flowers called? They're really forget-me-nots. I love those. I'm gonna do some of those. So I'm just gonna grab some cobalt blue, put it here, lighten up color a bit. Someone asked if I have a desire to use my art skills in other formats, like printmaking and all that stuff. I do, like, eventually. I don't know, it's just so, like, right now it's so hard because I have little ones, like one on the way and a little one, and he's not in school full time, and then when he is in school full time in September, I'm gonna have another little one. I just don't have enough time to pursue much more because YouTube is my full-time career. Right now I do 3 videos a week, which is quite time consuming. I love it. And then I'm currently writing a book, and then I also have Patreon, so I'm kind of full at the moment, so doing other things right now is quite difficult. But eventually, when both kids are in school, I'd love to teach in person. I'd love to, you know, get my artwork on products. I'd love to do that. There's tons of things I'd love to do. I really want to teach in person, though, and do, like, workshops and, like, be face-to-face with people. That was my goal before 2020 hit. That was my goal for 2020. And you guys all know how that happened. So it was just a little setback. But one day I'll get there. I want to write more books. So many things I want to do. I'm trying to think of what green would go nicely. Like a bluish green. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to use my oxide of chromium color, and then a little bit of turquoise. Maybe a little bit of purple. Like that. And yeah, so tell us about your book. So my book is going to be an instructional watercolor book. Very excited. It's for beginners, so it covers all the basics. Snow just fell out my window. Of, like, lessons and everything that I cover on here, but I know that a lot of people like actually having books to own as a reference instead of trying to look up previous videos. So it's going to go through, like, all the lessons that I teach on here separately, and then at the end of the book there's like 25 projects, like just separate little projects of everything from loose flowers, like it's just like one little project of each. So loose flowers, detailed flowers, landscapes, animals. I have like 3 different animals. I have some food items, and they're all very simple, like beginner friendly. What else do I have? Trees, just stuff like that. And yeah, so eventually I will make hopefully like one that's more for advanced, or one that's like on specific things, like a whole book on flowers, or a whole book on, I don't know, landscapes, probably not, but something else. But yeah, those are cute. Yeah, they're supposed to be forget-me-nots, I think. I don't know what the leaves on forget-me-nots look like, but we're winging it. This is what I want them to look like today. But yeah, so I'm very excited about my book. Writing a book and illustrating is like, that's always been my #1 dream, so I'm very excited for that. I'm very, very excited for that. To have my book in bookstores and just hold it in my hand. I might cry when I hold it in my hands for the first time. Or if I walk into a bookstore and I see it, I might like freak out, which I will document. But yeah, I'm excited for that. That's that, and then the brushes this year. Lots of good things. And I'm just using yellow ochre to go around the center like that. Look how cute those are. I love those. I love forget-me-nots. Might do like a little bit more, just a couple delicate lines on there. I've been really enjoying using my size 2 brush for like tiny flowers lately. I just find it so calming to work small. Does that make sense? It's also because like when I usually do my loose florals, it's just I have to work quickly, and this gives me time to just kind of sit back and relax and just paint without having to move quickly because things are going to dry too fast or whatever, so this is fun. Where are you located? I am in Ontario by Niagara Falls. That is where I am located. Let's do... What did someone say that I liked? Tulips and pansies. I'm gonna do more like a snapdragon kind of thing for one of them. I feel like I could make more of these, but it's okay. I like a snapdragon, and then maybe I'll do some pansies or something. I'm just gonna do 6 of them. I'm gonna use pink because I like pink. So I have pink and my orange. Hi guys. Hello to you if you're just joining. It'd be cool if in the book you put the link or title to YouTube videos you have of doing it. That is one of the plans. We are going to be adding QR codes that you just scan with your phone, and it will take you to links of videos that I have done on those topics, so you can kind of watch the video with the book, which there you go. So we are doing that actually, which is a lot of fun. Will your book ship internationally? I believe so. Yeah. How did I get into watercolor and art? I've always kind of been into art. It's just always been one of my things that I've loved, but there was like, I went to high school for visual arts. I got in for visual arts. I wasn't great. And I never did watercolor or anything. I'm just going to do these like little buds and then gradually make them a little bit bigger. And then I hated art in school. I always skipped class, did not enjoy it at all. And then I ended up pursuing more of the performing arts. In high school, kind of forgot about art, but I always like did little projects and stuff on the side of like greeting cards, and you know, like I never bought greeting cards ever, partially because we didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up, and so I would just make my own always, and I just never saw the point of buying them because I could always just make them, but I never did anything seriously with it. And then 2016 I was having some struggles with my mental health, and you know, I was just really, really down, and I decided to just kind of go to Michael's and go to an art store. I hadn't been in a Michael's before, and I walked there, and I was just like immediately like overjoyed with being in there, and I forgot how much I just loved being around art supplies, and I got like a really, really cheap Artist Loft watercolor palette. I got Artist Loft watercolor paper, which was all of it's like not great at all. And I decided to just take it home and paint. I put on some music and started painting. I wasn't even looking up YouTube videos at that time. I was looking at mostly like ideas on Instagram, and I started following people who were inspiring me, and I became obsessed. And then I went to a workshop, a watercolor workshop, and it was like also a lettering workshop in my city in Toronto, because that's where I was living at the time. And I went and I fell deeply in love with it, and then I didn't stop. Since 2016 I've been painting nonstop, and I was teaching kindergarten at the time, and I loved teaching art, so after I went to that workshop, I was like, maybe I could teach this if I get good at it. So I decided to make some YouTube videos without any expectation of anything happening. I was like, there's no way. And then like a year or two later, it started to blow up. One of my first videos, which you could always look back on, which is so funny. And then my husband was just like, you should do more, because he was also representing YouTubers at the time. That was his job. He had his own marketing agency and stuff like that. And he's like, you could do this as a job. And I did. And it was great timing because I was home with my son. I decided not to go back to work and ended up making YouTube my job. How do you not get tired of watercolor and not move on other mediums? I'm always shifting. How do you stay focused on one thing? I think if you're shifting, embrace that. I stick with watercolor because I just really like it. It is my favorite medium. I've tried other things, but I always come back to watercolor. It's just my comfort zone. But I do get tired of it, to be honest. I haven't painted in a couple weeks. I kind of have been struggling, like I said, a lot, where I just don't want to pick up a paintbrush. And every time I did, I would get frustrated. So I just haven't done it a lot lately. And in those moments, you just kind of have to be like, that's okay, I guess. Which is hard for me because this is my job, right? And I'm like, I don't want to do this right now. And then I haven't been because I've just been so uncomfortable. Just adding a little bit of yellow in there. Cute. Those are like some of my favorite flowers to do, like snapdragon, delphiniums. Oh, you'll have to put on your early videos in a playlist. Actually, if you go, you can, instead of like scrolling all the way back to my videos, here, hold on. I'll show you how to do it. It's so funny. One sec. So if you go to my videos, so here, this is my channel, right? Here's my channel. Go to videos, go up here, date added. You can look at my most popular videos, oldest and newest. Go to my oldest, and it has my very first videos, like when I got my paintbrush tattoo. That was 5 years ago. This one is the video that kind of blew up, that started it all, but you can go through from the beginning. So, and then you can always go through playlists and stuff like that. But yeah, that's how you do it. Just go to date added, newest, oldest, whatever, like that. Have you tried gouache? Yes, I do. I love the look of gouache. I just feel like I'm not as good at it lately. Not lately, just it. I find it harder for me, so I struggle a bit more with it. Snow falling up from my window. But I love the look of gouache. Okay. Should we do tulips or pansies? First one to answer. Tulips or pansies for our last flower? I feel like I've done a lot of tulips. First one to comment, I'll do it. I do pray the baby comes as soon with little discomfort as possible. Me too, guys. I'm so nervous. So nervous. Pansy. All right. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to do a pansy. They're really small. Crocus, pansy, tulips. Okay. I'm going to get this like purpley color. Let's make it a bit more pinky. So I think it's just cobalt blue and permanent rose. And we're going to start with a light wash. We could always do this again, guys, if you guys want to, like I can do another tutorial. I'm probably going to go live more often just because I've not been feeling well and it's a lot harder for me to get in the mood to film and talk to myself rather than talk to people, if that makes sense. So we might do this more often if that's cool with you guys. So again, we're making it really small. almost like a butterfly wing here and a butterfly wing here. And then fill it in. I want to make it nice and light. I do love doing pansies, they're pretty. Like that. I'm leaving a little spot in the middle so we can add yellow after. And then a thicker one down here. And I'm going to grab some darker purple. And I'm just going to tap. Jeez Louise, the ice is falling off my roof. And tap like that. Okay, and then we'll do the darker petals above. So let's do another one. Let's do more blue. I forget what leaves of pansies look like. That's okay. We will make it up as we go along because they don't have to be accurate because it's just a painting. So there. Okay. A little bit more blue. You can tap it at the sides if you like. Like that. And then I'm going to grab some of that dark purple, tap it at the center, and then I may even get a little bit of yellow while it's still wet. And let it bleed in there too. Will it bleed here? No, it's already dry. Cute. See how tiny they are? Yes, lives are great because you don't have to edit later. Let's do like more of a pinky one. Let's start with the bottom petal first. Like so. And the side. And the side. I can just grab whatever darkness we have here. Like that. If you want to go around the sides, you can too. It doesn't have to be all the same. Let's grab some yellow. Drop it in the middle. Let it bleed in there a bit. Like so. And now, here, let me look up what the leaves of pansies look like because I forget. Flower. They are like, that's not helpful. They're like these little rounded petal type things. Okay, nothing too crazy. Oh, is that my number 2 brush? Yes, it is my number 2 brush. Okay, and we'll do the leaf or the petals on top after these are dry. Okay, so let's get some green. Let's use some sap green this time. Mix it with a bit of the darker green. That's good. Just do some. I'll leave a little bit of space there for the petal that's going to go over top. And we're just going to do these little leaves like this. I know they probably all don't connect together. They're like separate, but I don't care. Can you tell how much I care today? I don't care if they're accurate. We're just having fun, people. We're having fun and being relaxing with it. Okay, I'm going to get some of this darker purple. Maybe some darker purple from up here. And I'm just going to make some of those leaves, the petals that kind of go over top. And they're usually like a darker or a different color. You can even do some tiny little details. Like that. Okay. A bit of pink here. Let's make this one a little bit more pink. Why not? And then I'm going to grab some blue, bluish purple, do the ones over here. Cute. I like these. And some little delicate lines like that. And then lastly, I'm just going to grab some darker green and just put it at the base of our leaves. Like so. So cute. And there are 6 tiny little flowers. I wish these were smaller, but they kind of got smaller as we went. But that was so fun and so relaxing to do. I don't know about you, but I find that super relaxing. So yeah, if you guys are interested in doing more stuff like this, just kind of like a chill out and paint session, I think I might be doing that a bit more often just because, like I said, I haven't been feeling well, and it's just a little bit easier for me to kind of get motivated if I have people to talk to. That's one thing about like doing tutorials like pre-recorded, you're talking to yourself, right? It's a little awkward. And I don't know about you, but I get really in my head, like, is this making sense? Because it's just easier to stop and then get mad at yourself. So if like I'm talking to people, it just feels a little bit easier. So might do more of these. If you guys are up for that, let me know in the comments below if that's something you're interested in. And yeah, so thank you guys for joining me today. That was fun. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I will see you again in the next video.